Hey guys, welcome back to CarnalDish. Today I have a very fun recipe for tempura shrimp summer rolls. We're gonna fry some really fat pieces of shrimp in a light, crispy, crackly tempura batter and wrap it up with tender rice paper with a whole bunch of vegetables. You are free to use whatever you have on hand. They'll be delicious as long as you serve them with this incredible garlic and ginger tahini dipping sauce. That sauce right there, y'all, I don't think you're ready for it. If you want to see how I did everything, keep watching. Okay, so we're going to make this amazing sauce. So I've got some tahini and some sweet chili sauce. And to that, I'm going to add this amazing stuff here called spicy chili crisp. Girl, if you do not have this, please go get it. It is fire, okay? It's just so freaking good. I'm going to add a big old spoonful of that. And some chopped up scallions. This is 2 scallions, both the green and the white parts. I've got some rice vinegar, about 2 tablespoons of that. Just pour that up in there. And I'm gonna add some really good soy sauce. Doesn't matter what type of soy sauce you have at the end of the day, just add some soy sauce. And now I'm adding some garlic that I minced. This is about two cloves of garlic, and I'm going to finely grate some ginger in there because I want it kind of like pulpy. So I'm using about maybe, I don't know, a half a tablespoon of ginger. Just get that up in there, and you're gonna whisk everything around and get it all incorporated. You want to break up that tahini because sometimes it can separate, so just make sure you give that a really good whisk. So now I'm adding some black pepper and some pink Himalayan sea salt. Stir it around and give it a taste. See what it needs. Mine was perfect. Only thing it needed was a little bit more acid. So I'm adding some lime zest. I added the zest of the entire lime, but just the juice of half the lime. That's really all it needed. Stir that around until it's nice and happy, and then you're going to give this one final taste, and then if it's perfect, then just wrap it up with some plastic wrap and pop it in your fridge. Stuff is really good on anything. I've made it with chicken wings, ribs, you name it. So we have this shrimp, right? It's been peeled and deveined, and I'm taking a paring knife and making very shallow cuts under the belly of the shrimp so that when we fry it later, it's not going to curl up into a tight C shape. So to that shrimp, I'm going to add some pink sea salt and some black pepper. And I'm also going to add another spice that if you do not have, I highly recommend that you get it. And it's called shichimi togarashi. It's Japanese. It's a red pepper mix. It is so good. I love it. I'm gonna add like a copious amount of it, and it really makes pretty much anything you put on it, like gives it a nice spicy kick, but it's very flavorful, so it's like enjoyably spicy. So just add that, and you want to mix everything around to make sure all the shrimp is properly seasoned, and just keep that to the side. So I'm being lazy with this recipe and I'm going to use this tempura batter mix. I usually make my own tempura batter. Maybe I can show you that in another video, but for now we're just going to use that stuff. We've got some vermicelli rice noodles. You have to hydrate these for about 10 minutes in really hot water until they get soft enough for you to handle them. So I just got these in a bowl of some really warm water, and I'm just going to let them sit there for about 10 minutes and they'll be fine. Now I'm making the tempura batter, and I want this to be a little bit on the thicker side just because it's going to prevent the shrimp from curling up as it fries. If your batter is too thin, your shrimp, even with the release cuts that you put under the belly of the shrimp, it's still going to curl up. So make sure that your batter is thick enough to coat it, but not like fried chicken thick. You want it like this. You see that? That's perfect. So we're going to fry this in 400-degree oil for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's completely crispy and done. Make sure your oil is nice and hot. We're doing 400 degrees instead of your typical 350 degrees or 375. Reason being, we really want this shrimp to get nice and crispy and not absorb too much oil. We don't want a greasy tempura situation. So make sure your oil is super, super hot. It's only going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. And if you start to notice them sticking together, quickly get up in there with a spider or some chopsticks and try to separate them. Okay, so I've got these Vietnamese rice paper wraps, and basically you just want to rehydrate these as well. And I have a bowl of warm water. I'm going to dip them in for about 5 seconds, okay? I dipped it again, you just didn't see it. But 5 seconds, and you take it out. And I like to just kind of press the water into the wrap to make sure that it gets properly hydrated without falling apart. And once it's pliable, it'll continue to soak up the water as it sits there, so don't freak out. But once it becomes pliable is when I'm going to add my vegetables. I'm using some butter lettuce here. I'm going to add the rice noodles and some delicious fresh cilantro. I love cilantro. If you don't like it, you can leave it out. Some fresh mint. I took a jalapeno pepper and kind of sliced it really thinly. So that's what you see there. Some garlic chives from my garden that I grow. Some cucumber. And I sliced up some avocados really thinly. I'm going to add a couple of carrots, just a little bit for some crunch. And I'm going to put the tempura shrimp on the outside of that. So when you roll this up, you're going to obviously start from the end closest to you. And it's really stretchy now, the rice paper, so you're just gonna like stretch it over the vegetables and make sure all of that is tucked in. And you're gonna pull the sides over. I'm not the best roller with this, but I got the job done. And you're just gonna wrap it so that the shrimp is the last thing to be tucked, and the shrimp ends up being on the outside of the wrap, if that makes any sense, as you can see here. And you're just gonna slice that on the diagonal. And there you go. Super cute, right? So that's basically it. It's super easy. It's super fun. You can use any sort of vegetable that you like, different peppers, different types of lettuce. You can leave the vermicelli noodles out and use like cauliflower rice. If you're keto, you can completely nix the rice paper and the vermicelli noodles and just use lettuce wraps and stuff it with cauliflower rice if that's your jam. Do whatever you want. Just make sure that you make this dipping sauce, because it is just, oh, it's so good. You're gonna love it. Hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and now you get to watch me eat it. Bye. Oh my god, isn't that pretty? Got all kinds of vegetation like stuck in my teeth. Yes. The shrimp though is so thick and juicy and crispy, and that contrast of like the crispy warm shrimp with the cool noodles and the vegetables wrapped up in a little cute little package. It's delightful. And this dipping sauce, are you kidding me? I really don't know what else to say other than like go make these right now. They're so good. Lord have mercy. Look at that. It's so cute, right? So delicious. Boop. That is something special.